Shall I intro it?
You can do, yeah. Good afternoon, viewers. How you doing? Welcome to Wing Wednesdays.
No, it's my channel. I want to do it.
Can I not do it?
It's my channel.
You do it. Go on then.
Okay, welcome to Wing Wednesdays, the first episode of many. A series of short, 10 minutes-ish videos where myself and Uncle Howard...
Uncle Nobed, yeah.
So me and Howard are here going to be chatting about all things, just little niche topics within the business of weddings, and one video a week, and we'll see how it goes.
Hasn't it like popped up because people have been asking you questions on your videos and on YouTube?
So yeah, the last one I did about meeting couples, which was a bit controversial because people were asking. I did a video about why you should meet wedding couples and what to say on a meeting and stuff, and it was 50-50 mixed bag. Some people did not think you should meet couples at all.
Yeah, well, that's cool, isn't it? Because it's
fine, yeah.
They can listen to it and just take from it what they want.
But yeah, it was controversial. There's a lot of comments, but then somebody asked me, can I next do a video about pricing and talk about, because she wanted to work less, spend more time with her family, and so increase the pricing so that she could still earn the same but be working a bit less, better sort of family work-life balance. So I thought that would be a good one to start with.
And it's a great one because this is why I love the wedding industry so much.
Because you can have that balance really
well.
well.
You can have that balance and you can charge more for your price because there's more value there. All right, you're spending more time. I mean, me personally, I was doing birthdays at night and, got out there for a couple of hours. You can only charge a certain amount to come and do an hour spot in an evening, but it kind of still takes your day and your night up. So to really maximise on it and charge the most, a wedding is ideal because it runs the whole of the day and into the evening. So there's a lot more perceived value there. So i.e. you can charge more for it, which means you can get that life balance.
But it's like, from my point of view, from video and photographers, it's not just the day that you're charging for because you've got all the editing afterwards and stuff.
Oh, so God, yeah, there's loads.
You can charge a really good price, but it's justified because all my friends just think I'm charging X amount for a day, but it's not, is it? It's all the meetings before, it's all the setting up your business, advertising yourself to get those bookings, and then all the editing. And so when you break it down, you're not charging.
This is why I say it's good to meet your clients because then you can justify your price.
Yeah.
But if it works for you, then that's a good thing to do. But work-life balance, you can charge more. But people are probably wondering, I want to make the leap. Well, how do I charge more?
You do, because you kind of
increments and stuff like that.
You helped me do my pricing increase as I went along because I was charging the first one for free, then a couple £100, then it was like I was up to £500 per wedding, and then when I got proper packages set up and I started rolling with it, I think I was like $750 or something like that for a highlights film for a bit.
Then it went up to $1,000, then it went up to $1,250.
It was $1,200, and now it's $1,500 starting up to $2,000 plus. So
yeah, it's great. But you got to understand there is that you can't just go from $500 to $2,000. You probably could do. Well, I wouldn't do.
This is the question. It's like, do you just double your prices overnight, or do you do it staggered over time?
So my story, going back years, I was charging £500 for my wedding package, and I went on a marketing course in London with a friend of mine, Steve Hargreaves. Big shout out Hargreaves. And one of the speakers said they talked about the topic of price, and he told everybody in the audience, challenged them to go out when they got back to the business, or next day or following week. He said, I challenge you to double your prices and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. So I went from $500, going back years, but $500 to £1,000 for what I was offering at the time. And a lot of people on that course were like, I can't do it. I'll lose all my clients. The funny thing, what happened to me was
your inquiries are going to. Well, the ratio of inquiry to booking is going to drop dramatically, isn't it, if you change it that much?
This is what people think.
Okay.
It was a very bold move. And I certainly think jumping from 1,000 to 2,000 is got to be a slightly different process. But at the time, I went for 500 to £1,000, and when I put my prices up to £1,000, I actually got more bookings. Whether that works for everybody, I don't know, but that's what I did, and it was really weird. I was like, I can't believe it. I'm getting more bookings at £1,000.
I think that's because people think, oh, he's £1,000, maybe he's really good.
You know, mentality, isn't it?
It's obviously worth it.
People think it's like you, innit? You know, everybody wants to drive a Ferrari, don't they, or the latest Audi, or they don't really want a Ford Focus.
You just assume there's
for the clients that we want those clients, that want the best, and they're getting the best venues, and if they see you priced at £500, they might automatically think, well, this guy's no good.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Or he's new, or he's not that experienced, or his work can't be that good. We've got a whole new topic we can talk about in future videos about pricing and how to put the prices on your website, or how not to put the price on your website, and all that kind of stuff. But people who want the best are probably going to be put off by a lower price. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But it's got to run hand in hand with the product that you're producing. I mean, with you, when you were starting off cheaper, you were just learning your craft, and your videos were okay, but they weren't at a level where you can charge.
You've got to be aware of your worth, I guess, in that respect. Especially,
well, you've also got to be confident doing it, because if you're not confident charging your top price, then that's going to rub off.
You've got to believe in it. That's what I mean. So you've got to be aware
to believe in it. And at the start, you won't believe in it.
If you think you really are worth it, and you're confident that what you're doing is worth £2,000, £3,000, whatever.
Yeah, but that'll come with time, and you're comfortable build with that when you give your clients.
It'll be more believable when you sell it.
Yeah, when you give them your end product, and they absolutely buzz off it, and they're like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing. You realise then there's real value in this. There is, and it is worth this, and I am worth this, and those films are worth that. And as time goes by, you build this belief in yourself that it is worth that.
Well, actually, when I did the wedding awards, when I won it, or was it last year? Anyway, because you get the feedback from all the clients afterwards, so you get your clients to vote for you, and then you get feedback from them after the awards. And they've left a little section saying why they voted for me and why they gave me 5 stars.
Isn't it great when you're feeling down? Just go back to your comments and have a read.
I read it at least once a week. And what a lot of the comments were saying were like we loved the video, but he was really reasonably priced. I got quite a bit of that. So it was like, oh yeah, he was priced better than some of the other companies we looked at. He was very reasonable for what he offered, and his product was very good for the price. Everything was dead reasonable, and that propped up a lot. But then I thought, I could probably get away with charging a bit more then. If they're...
Well, there's your audience. You've listened to what they've said. They've sort of said, in a way, that...
They'd have paid more for it.
They would have paid more for it. And you'll find that...
And there was a vibe that everyone felt like they'd got a really good deal. Because it was very, very reasonable, very reasonable. And they probably would have paid that extra couple £100.
You get it after the wedding, don't you? Because I've had it years ago, like, after the wedding, when they've experienced what you do... They're like, oh God, you should put your prices up. Yeah. You should put your prices up. And this is, you listen to your couples, don't you? And and you're reading them comments. It just showed to you that people will pay more.
So that made me that was when I did my next increment of increase in pricing, because I thought I'd probably get away with charging. And I went from 1,200.
So I knew a photographer who, every time, and he won the wedding awards about 3 times. Every time he won the wedding awards, he put his prices up by I think 30% each time. I think that guy now, it's a photographer, he's about £3,000 starting price. Yeah,
because that little badge of I've won this award, that gives
goes
you a bit
hand
of
in
extra
hand.
value, doesn't it?
So I suppose one of the big questions from your viewers, especially the person who asked about the pricing, is how to change your pricing and when to do it.
When to do it, yeah.
There's an example there, innit? Well, when you're getting the feedback from your couples, which kind of tells you, wow, people are saying I'm dead reasonable. Yeah, and maybe they would have paid more.
If you're booking, because I think I chatted to Jeff Wood, and he was like, if you're booked up for the year before the year's even, if you're booked up for the following year before the year's even started, then you put your prices up. Like if you want to get to 40 weddings a year and you've hit your 40 weddings, for any on top of that is bonus. Put your prices up then. And test it out and see if they're still coming in.
Testing is the big one, because you're not going to know, and there will be a certain threshold. But there's always room in it. There's always that little bit more room, and it's like, And
But
you'll
if you've
see,
already
you can
guaranteed
always
your
pull
amount of
back,
bookings that you wanted to get anyway,
oh yeah, that's the way
then
to
you've
do
got
it, yeah.
freedom to test it, and you don't have to worry too much about.
If you've got your quota for the next year, that you can test your prices then, because you've still got time. If you're getting a bit of negativeness from it, and you think, shit, I need to pull back a bit, then you can just pull back a bit, and you've still got that year to get you working for the following year. But you're having this little test, which is really, I mean, split testing is massive.
The other thing I'd say is, like what you've just said there, is if you put your prices up and it's not converting, there's a temptation to panic and just drop them back down. I'd hold out a little bit on and try and have balls with that, because it's
have some balls with it, but just
even after a couple of weeks, I've got no inquiries coming in, I'm gonna have to drop them back down. But
if you've got a bit of history in the past where you get a lot of bookings coming at a certain time,
because like you can have slow weeks where you get no inquiries, and then all of a sudden you get three in a space of an hour.
That's what I'm saying. When I made my bigger jump to what I'm charging now at the start, there was no bookings coming in, and I was like, I really just held and held and held and held.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's worth holding on just that little bit longer than you think.
Yeah, and I had a bit of a time for if I'm not getting any bookings, then it is just a price issue. But having said before, which we talked about on another video, it's having yourself set up to justify your prices, and you have to do that before you're going to be doing any jump with prices.
Yeah.
You've got to, those people have got to know that your value before you're going to do this. So, i.e., those little badges of honour, showcasing your best work, being out working as well. People get to see what you do, showcasing your reviews on Facebook.
I heard Philip White said, create a luxury brand off of your client's luxury. So if you're showing off your best weddings where they've spent a fortune, it makes you look more luxurious and expensive than you are.
Puts you in that bracket though, doesn't it?
So you're creating your luxury off of your client's luxury.
Yeah. So I'm sure Philip White has done videos where just like a regular type of wedding.
Weddings, but
he won't use that on his website to promote himself, because you want to put yourself in that higher end of the market, don't you? So you need to be showcasing that you work in the high end of the market all the time, i.e. that will lead to high-end clients, which it does. But yeah, which
means you can put your prices up.
So before you do it and test it, have all those little things set up, have that social proof on your website. I know we talked about, the meetings, people are split on that, which is fair enough, but if you have got the time to do it, those are the times where you can start telling people the difference and the value and the worth and all that. Like you said there, I'm not just shooting the day, it's the meetings before, it's the 2 days of editing afterwards. They don't know that. They think you're just going to turn up and shoot. People are not in the video world, don't understand how much work and effort goes into it. And when they do, of course that justifies the price, doesn't it? But it's not only that, they get to meet you and they kind of book you. They put you anyway.
And then you might have the chance to upsell them further down the line.
I had a guy at a wedding last year, and he didn't know me, knew nothing about me. His bride made him book me, and he was like, it's too expensive, this guy. Why are we doing it? After the wedding, he come up to me and he said I'd have paid twice as much once he'd seen it. And it's like, once people experience your product and the value and the worth of it, then they will pay more.
Which is why you need that interaction to explain it and justify it.
Exactly.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Exactly.
Keep it short. Hope that helps.
We went the first Wing Wednesday.
Wing Wednesday.
Woohoo!
See you next time.
See you later, guys.